Captain UK Devnath. Moving on to some other news coming in. U.S. President Donald Trump responds over his increasing closeness to Russia on Ukraine, saying the United States should worry less about Putin, and he has stated, quote, "We should spend less time worrying about Putin and more time worrying about migrant rape gangs, drug lords, murderers and people from mental institutions entering our country," unquote. Trump's stunning shift in approach to the war and Russia was on full display days earlier when he berated Ukrainian President Zelensky in front of reporters at the White House. The unprecedented public spat with Trump calling the Ukrainian leader disrespectful resulted in Zelensky leaving the White House without the anticipated signing of a pact on sharing mineral rights. Trump's growing closeness with Putin has rung alarm bells across Europe as well as among the U.S. Democratic Party, who have raised national security concerns. We have with us my colleague Brian Thomas joining us on the telecast. Brian, we have seen and we have been talking about this, that amid this Russia-Ukraine war, and we have seen that Trump's inclination towards Russia is increasing. What are the details that are coming in?
Well, definitely President Donald Trump has dismissed criticism over his warning ties with Russia, arguing that the U.S. should focus less on Vladimir Putin and more on domestic crimes and immigration issues. Now, his remarks also come days after a tense Oval meeting happened with Volodymyr Zelensky, where Trump publicly berated the Ukrainian leader, calling him disrespectful, and the following resulted in Zelensky leaving without signing a major agreement that could have been given the U.S. access to Ukraine's rare earth minerals. Now, the abrupt shift also in approach to the war in Ukraine has deeply unsettled European allies and drawn strong criticism from the Democrats, who fear that Trump is now aligning U.S. foreign policy with the Kremlin interests. Now, very importantly, senior Senator Chris Murphy, one of Trump's fiercest critics, has warned that the administration's stance signals a dangerous realignment, and other Democrats have also raised national security concerns, arguing that Trump's rhetoric and policy shifts could undermine NATO unity and even embolden Russian aggression. Despite these criticisms, also very importantly, Republicans have also largely backed Trump, with some even suggesting Zelensky should step down to facilitate peace with Russia. And also, National Security Advisor Mike Waltz also said that they need a leader that can deal with the U.S., eventually deal with the Russians, and also end this war as well. Yes.
We also have with us Major General A.K. Sivaj on this, a defense expert joining us. Major General A.K. Sivaj, we have earlier seen that when we are talking about Russia and US's ties, we have earlier seen that this has raised alarms across West. They are at crossroads in terms of the Russia-Ukraine war, and there was a European summit, an emergency meeting that was held in which Zelensky was also present in that meeting, and in which Europe also wants to take part in the negotiations in terms of this war. So how do you think, what exactly does this mean for the Russia-Ukraine war when it comes to the U.S. president's move that has been going on for quite some time?
No, as far as Donald Trump is concerned, he is interested that ceasefire should come as far as Russia-Ukraine war is there, because this war is there for almost about 3 years, and there has been a loss of lives more than about 1 lakh on the either side. And the fuel, fertilizer prices have gone all over the world almost in a double figure. So the point today is that the pressure which is trying to put on Ukraine is that the Ukraine must come on the table and try to understand what is the ground situation. He is losing a war. He cannot win now against Russia. He must be ready to negotiate. But the problem which is coming as far as Zelensky is concerned, basically what Ukraine is saying, that we want some sort of a security arrangement in a manner that in case we are attacked in future, we will be saved. You see, as far as US is concerned, they are saying that it can't be given immediately. First, a ceasefire must take place, and then the talks can take place thereafter. That is what is not been understood by Zelensky. Zelensky is not interested in ceasefire. Zelensky says the ceasefire will be a military pause. In that, Russia will again attack after doing a refit and basically building its own sort of military strength. But the point today which is there is, as far as Donald Trump is concerned, he sincerely wants this war to stop, and this can only stop once the Ukraine and Russia will also come on the negotiating table. To come to the negotiating table, it is US which is playing a mediator role. It is trying to have good relations with Zelensky, try to make him understand, sign this minimal deal, and thereafter talk about ceasefire. And then, on the both sides, there will be issues. You see, as far as Russia is concerned, there are two red lines. Russia, Putin says that the area which they have almost about 20% of taken from Ukraine, including Crimea, they are not going to negotiate. And the second thing is, they say that it has to be ensured that Ukraine do not join NATO. It has to be given in written assurance. Whereas Zelensky says the other way around. Zelensky said the Russia must vacate whatever area is taken. Territorial integrity and sovereignty has to be maintained of Ukraine. At the same time, some security guarantee must be given. So these two demands are poles apart. So once the talks will start, some sort of via media will come. Now Europe, which is trying to now stand
all right,
along with
Major
Zelensky,
General A.K. Sewaj, unfortunately we have run out of time. Thank you so much for joining us on the telecast, and Brian Thomas as well. Moving on to some news coming in from Gujarat. From the latest on PM Modi's 3-day visit to Gujarat, he now